And we are live. What's good, man? What's good, y'all? It's your man DLC. welcome, welcome, welcome. I really want to know podcast. It's Friday, and I'm still trying to work out my schedule. Monday through Thursday, no problem. We hit every day. Uh, but Friday, Saturday, Sunday, part out. I gotta figure that part out still. Friday's transition day, so we got to do a lot of driving and whatever. It is what it is. Y'all know what it is. Just trying to make it work. Did a quick sound check. The sound sounds good. Um, Glad you guys are here. Hope you're having a good Friday. Um, Weekends here. Hope you guys have a great weekend. I know I got some stuff planned. It should be okay. So, what are we here to talk about? Man, I want to talk about the Proud Boys. I want to talk about the Oath Keepers. I want to talk about these people who've been handed down these sentences. They got their day in court and they lost. So, what are you crying about? Don't do the crime if you can't do the time. Right? Let's get into it. And we are live. What's good, y'all? Welcome, welcome, welcome to the I Really Want to Know podcast, y'all. Man, Shushu, you did good work on that intro. I like that intro. And I love the outro as well. But shout out to Melanie King. Melanie King's in that intro, man, because I spent a lot of time over there talking with her on our platform. And Rich Cooper, shout out to Rich Cooper. Salute to Rich Cooper, the unplugged alpha. Um, Entrepreneurs in Cars. Yeah, and his book is a really, really good book. The Unplugged Alpha is over my shoulder right back there. It's a really good read. If you guys haven't seen it, you can get it on Amazon. It's a great book. But shout out to them. Shout out to my man Rook, who's also in the intro. That is my brother from another mother, like me and him, man. That's my guy, boy. One of these days, I'm gonna start a Patreon so y'all can hear some of the stories that Rook refuses to talk about for free. There's some great stories, y'all. And Melanie King is back in the YouTube space, man. She's back in the trenches. She took some time off. Looked like she went missing for a few months, but she's back now. I can't wait to catch up with one of her lives. And I will. Just waiting for the timing to line up. I think she did a show today. I think she did a live today. I didn't see it. I'm gonna have to hit that notification bell so I know when she goes up, because she just goes up. Y'all think I'm random. She's real random. But anyway, shout out to her. So let's get into this, man. Proud Boys. First of all, I just want to say, look, I don't have a problem with the Oath Keepers, with the Proud Boys. I ain't got a problem with none of that. I ain't got a problem with all those groups out there, man. Look, I do my thing, they do their thing. I don't have a problem with it. But what gets me is there's a lot of people in America who don't understand the American judicial system. They don't get it. They don't get it. And a lot of that is probably due to a certain level of privilege. They've never had to deal with it. There are those of us who have dealt with it. We know what time it is. We know what it is. And that's not even a racial thing either, really. It's more of an economic thing. There's people in the trailer parks, white dudes, Latin folks, Native Americans. There's people, what I mean, at the lower end of the spectrum financially, who have to deal with law enforcement, who are in these worlds, these hyper violent worlds, and these worlds with no money. They got to deal with this. They understand. They understand. They understand that law enforcement is not there to serve and protect in these neighborhoods. They get it. Right? They get it. Law enforcement has their job to do. The police gonna do their thing, and other people gonna do their thing. And you, as an individual, you got a choice to make. What world you gonna rock in? And if you run afoul of the law, if you're on the wrong side of the law, for whatever reason, when them boys come, you better know what to do. You better know your rights. You know what I'm saying? Better know who you rolling with. All that. So this thing with the Proud Boys, there was breaking news a few days back. The leader, the Latin dude who was like the quote unquote the leader of the Proud Boys, he got sentenced for his role in the whole January 6th insurrection, attempted coup, attempted overthrow the government, however you want to look at it. You know what I mean? Or what did they say? Not so orderly, right? Uh, protest, whatever. I heard all kind of stuff, man. I know what I saw and I know what that was. Um, you know, he had his day in court. He lost. It's an old song out there, man. I fought the law and the law won. That's what happened right here. It's not just him. It's other Proud Boy members. It's also other members, people like Oath Keepers and stuff like that. You got other folks out there, other American citizens who they crossed that line and they got dealt with. And they didn't understand how the system works. So let's look at the let's have a look at the article. USA Today. I found a USA Today article, man. Let's cover that. I'm gonna do it like this. No, I'm gonna do it like this. I'm gonna do it like this. So let's look at this USA Today article. This was yesterday. Trial tax. Proud Boy members complain their long prison sentences punish them for demanding a trial. Right? Members of the Proud Boys and Oath Keepers have appealed long prison sentences for the Capitol attack January 6th. The Justice Department has also appealed some sentences as too short. So they're like, yo, y'all giving us too much time. And then you got people, you know what I mean? Johnny Law, like, nah, we didn't give you enough time. And the lawyers are sitting here complaining, saying, well, we're being punished because we wanted our day in court. We refused to play ball. We refused to take a plea. We refused to do whatever, maybe cooperate. So we're being punished for that. All right. You think so? Like, all right. All right. So Washington. Nobody seems happy with the long sentences for convicted leaders of the Capitol attack on January 6, 2021. Defendants have appealed their sentences as too long. The Justice Department has appealed some as too short. The result is the evidence and punishment from the worst attack on the Capitol in 200 years will be scrutinized for months or years to come. Right. And you can tell right now the author, where the author of this article stands, right? Definitely they are not with those people who participated in that riots or insurrection, whichever terms you want to use. Legal experts say defendants almost always appeal cases, while the government rarely does, because judges have broad discretion to determine punishment. They do. And we're talking about criminal court stuff here right now. That also carries over into the family court system, which to me is a farce. They shouldn't call it family court. They should call it something else. And they should restrict judges' discretion. But that is for another time. We'll talk about that another time. But back to this. Proud Boy member Ethan Nordine, who was sentenced Friday to 18 years in prison, filed a notice Wednesday he would appeal his sentence. He is the second longest sentence related to January 6th after Proud Boy leader Enrique Tarrio was sentenced Tuesday to 22 years in prison. So you got a Proud Boy member who got 18 years for, his involvement in this thing. And then the leader of the Proud Boys, 22 years in prison. 22 years in prison. Trust me, they knew what they were looking at when they went into that courtroom. They knew what they were looking at. When you get in trouble, when something like this happens, the prosecution, they don't want to take it to court. Some say it's because they don't want to spend the money. Some say it's because they don't want to take a chance on losing, because you never know what 12 people are going to say. But they just don't. The prosecution does not like going to court. Most people who are in the American judicial system plead out. They take some sort of plea. They don't go to court. They don't have their day in court. They take a lesser charge, or they plead guilty, and the arrangement is I'll plead guilty to this and y'all gonna give me less time. That's just how the system works. But you can get your day in court. If you want it, you will get it. They wanted their day in court, they got it. They just didn't like the outcome. Two of their co-defendants, Proud Boy members, Joseph Biggs and Zachary Ryle, were sentenced August 31st to 17 years and 15 years, respectively. They filed a plea offer Wednesday that they received from the government before the trial in October of 2022. See, I mean, these dudes are taking pleas and still walking away with 17 years and 15 years. Like, bro, the case on them must have been airtight and massive, massive. And like I said, when the feds come see you, whatever offer they put on the table, are you sitting in that room when they first come see you? That's the best offer you're gonna get. You don't take that offer, you decide to go to court. Well, you know what I mean? Them numbers off the table, so just get them off your mind. Just that point blank period. That's how it works. That's how it works. And I think the biggest problem in America right now is people come from these different bubbles and they truly don't understand how our justice system works. It is horrible. The American justice system is terrible. However, it's better than everywhere else, in my opinion. I much rather deal with the American justice system than deal with the Chinese justice system or the North Korean justice system or the Japanese justice system for that matter. Right? I much rather deal with ours. You know what I mean? Than deal with what's going on in Russia or Romania or Ukraine. You feel me? Or what's going on in Saudi Arabia, you know what I mean, the UAE. I'd much rather deal with this system. Brother Cody's King's in the building, man. What's good, fam? Good to see you. Yep, it's all just scare tactics from the government. It will never stick. January 6th was a false flag, just like the Reichstag. Reichstag, bro. You're wrong on this one, man. Them boys gonna sit down. They are going to sit down. The only way they're gonna get out early from under these sentences, like under these sentences that they receive from the feds, is if they cooperated. Someone was giving the federal government a lot of information. That's why they were able to run down all these people. I mean, so many people down here in Florida, in Central Florida, got caught up in that January 6th stuff. Someone had to give names and was, giving up information and corroborating, testimony and all this other kind of stuff and saying, yeah, that's him and yeah, that's her. Someone was talking. So my theory is the Proud Boy, president, the leader guy, I think he was talking. And I think they're going to figure out a way to get him up from under this 22 years. They'll probably do like maybe 6 or 8 years and then they'll let him go. But if he got sentenced to 8 years and everybody else is getting these big numbers, then they will know that he was the one talking. So that might be the case, but I'm telling you, bro, scare tactic. Nah. Nah. Now, once you get into that courtroom, it's a wrap. It's a wrap. If you ain't got Johnny Cochran sitting next to you. And here's the thing, if it's a Fed case, the feds don't go into a courtroom unless they know they got you. The state, local people, city, whatever, you got your state court, the county, they ain't gonna worry about that. They gonna mess up all the time. But the feds down here in America, you catch a Fed case, bro, it's a problem. So now, man, it's not a false flag on this one. I'm sorry, bro. They messed up. And they were just reckless with it. Proud Boys and the Oath Keepers, they running their mouth, they posting stuff, they doing things. Nah, man. I don't think they truly understood that they were a criminal enterprise. They just didn't know that they were the bad guys. That's part of it. They were absolutely the bad guys. That's how law enforcement looked at them, and they came at them as such. There was no privilege here. There was no privilege here. Brother Cody is saying, think it's all show trials to influence the public into being scared to stand up. Nah, bro, it's been like this forever, man. This is in a thing forever, bro. This is how government is down. This is how the justice system works. So they're not saying, hey, we're trying to scare you regular good Americans. Nah, this is how the system works. You get caught up in the system, man, it's a monster trap. You can come up in the system if you want to. They're gonna make you sit down. If you don't take the deal, when they come in the room, they offer you what they offer you. If you don't take it, you know what I mean? Good luck. You know what I mean? Good luck. Good luck beating the federal government in court. Down here in America, man, that just doesn't happen, bro. You know what I mean? It just doesn't happen. But you definitely there's an element of that, wanting to scare people to stand up. But this particular system, they have honed it, bro. This ain't new. This is what they've been doing in the hood. I'm in my 50s, bro. They've been doing this for generations now. This is crazy. You just got to know how to move. And the biggest thing is keep your mouth shut. And if you ain't keeping your mouth shut, you out here today on social media, on your phone, sending text messages, talking and all this kind of stuff, man, they got you. They have a mountain of evidence, bro. They got you. So, but this ain't new. It's just the people who got caught up, these Proud Boys, these Oath Keepers, they truly didn't understand the justice system. They understand now. And Brother Cody continues, and being used to push the further right versus left agenda. Yeah, you got something like that out there, definitely, man. But just our justice system, man, you can get wrecked. You can absolutely get wrecked with the American justice system, man. It's just, like I said, man, I know a lot about that. I haven't been wrecked by a lot of people I know, a lot of people I care about have been. And yeah, you can wind up in prison for a crime you did not commit. It happens all the time. You find yourself doing time for something you didn't commit because you can't prove you didn't do it. They say you're innocent until proven guilty. Nah, man, you're guilty until you can prove your innocence. That's really how it works. And, I'm hoping anybody who might be watching this on Team Replay or out there Ninja watching now, listen, right? This is how it works. Be careful. Be careful who you roll with. Be careful what y'all saying, what y'all doing, how y'all acting, how y'all dressing, because they are watching. There are tons of agencies out there watching. So it continues. Each of the Proud Boys defendants were offered sentences in exchange for guilty pleas that were less than half of what they received after the trial. This is normal. Like I said, when they walk in, when the feds walk in, you sitting in that room. When the prosecutor walks in there, they're going to have a deal. They're going to have a number. They're going to offer it once. Right? You could take this, plead guilty to this, and get this time. Or don't, and we'll see what happens in court. So they always do that down here in America. Norman Pettis, a lawyer for Briggs and Rao, called the longer sentence proposed by the government a trial tax in violation of their Sixth Amendment right to trial. It's not no, it's just how they do it. You know what I mean? It's how it's done. It's done every day, all day down here for all sorts of crimes, right? And this became a thing when the whole drug craze went. You know what I mean? When the streets went crazy with drugs and all that, they started just offering deals and stuff like that. So this is just normal. Is it a violation of their Sixth Amendment? Well, you can appeal that. You can appeal that all the way up to the highest court in the land, and you're gonna lose because I think everyone should have to go to trial. I don't think there should be any pleas, to be honest with you. But this is the system we work under. They had the opportunity to take that deal, and they didn't. And he continues like ineffective defendants were punished because they demanded their right to trial. And that's what the lawyer wrote. Nah, they weren't punished. Like, again, it's money. It costs a lot of money to have these trials. I mean, it's a lot of time, a lot of energy, a lot of expense involved. So what they're doing is trying to cut their losses. The government's like, we know you're guilty. And if you're sitting there, you're like, you're guilty. You know if you're guilty or not. You have to ask yourself, hey, man, what did Clint Eastwood say? Ask yourself one question. Do I feel lucky? Right? Because it really boils down to that. How good is my attorney? How deep are my pockets? Right? But again, when you're dealing with the federal government, man, they are so meticulous. They won't take the case if they can't win. And that's the biggest thing. And people need to understand that. Like, y'all out there thinking about starting your little group and doing whatever y'all going to do. Y'all need to understand that big time. Need to understand that. You know what I mean? Brother Cody is saying, like, I agree. It's predatory. I just think this stuff is political show trials, just like the Rittenhouse and the Jogger trials. All these public trials are Hollywood and meant to push social direction. Yeah, yes, I would agree. Like, bro, there's something there. I mean, there's a little bit something there, bro. I ain't gonna lie. But is that the overall way that our justice system works down here in America? Nah, man. That's not the overall way it works, bro. Nah, man. Ain't about no agendas or nothing. They just moving cases, building up their resumes. Prosecutors want to win. They don't want to lose. Defense attorneys want to win. They don't want to lose. It's a game within the game, within the matrix, within the game. Right? It's what it is. These people, they're just doing their thing. You go into court, man, they're just doing their thing. They'll look at it. You just a number to them. Just like, bro, very rarely do I think you're guilty. A lot of attorneys don't care, especially the good ones. They'll never ask you if you're guilty or not. Defense attorneys, they don't care. Most of them don't. And there's a lot of people in prison right now in America for crimes they didn't commit, doing time. And they said in court that they did it, but they couldn't prove. They couldn't prove their innocence And their attorney told him, like, bro, we go to trial with this and you lose, you're looking at 50 years in prison. Or you could take this deal for 5 years. You could take 60 months or risk 50 years. That's crazy. You know what I mean? Brother Cody was saying they can outlast you in court with money and time. They can, and like the law is against you, bro. Like if your pockets are deep enough, like OJ Simpson proved that. OJ Simpson was guilty of sin, if you ask me, and he beat that case. So right there, I'm like, all right, right, forget about racism. You got enough money, you can body somebody, and that's what OJ did too, and beat that case. He beat the criminal case. They got him on some other stuff, civil stuff or whatever, but he beat the criminal case. Once I saw that, I'm like, all right, the system works. It's just about money. It's not about race. But you got to know what you're doing. And the article continues, plea deals trade shorter sentences for certain convictions. And this is from a legal expert. Yeah, that's how pleas work. Legal experts said it's extremely common for plea agreements to offer shorter sentences before trial, and defendants are encouraged to reach a deal because of the high rate of federal convictions in trial. Yeah, man. It's in the 90 percentile, bro. That means the feds barely lose. The feds. Now, if you're dealing with a state case, right? Hey, man, go to trial. Get your day in court. Get you a good attorney. A decent attorney is going to obliterate most cases at the state level. But when you're dealing with the feds, man, it's a different story. It's a way different story. So, yeah, it's common for plea agreements. It happens all the time. It's the first thing they're going to do. They're going to come in there and offer you a plea. First thing. Drink water, like Patrick CC says. Drink water. So at times the differences can be dramatic. And this is Kendall Coffey, a former U.S. attorney in Miami, now in private practice at Coffey Burlington. While some criticize this reality as a penalty for going to trial, the law and the prevailing prosecution philosophy recognizes that at least some greater leniency should be accorded to those willing to accept responsibility for their crimes. So it's like, look, you like, hey man, I did it. I'm sorry. The system believes that you should be rewarded for that. Hey, I did it. I robbed a bank. I sold that product. You know what I mean? I did this. I committed that, Ponzi scheme. I did it. I'm sorry. I'm remorseful. So I'm gonna go ahead and take this 6-year deal. Right. This, you know what I mean? As opposed to going to trial, losing and looking at 25 to life. And like, man, that's a huge difference. Now, I'm being crazy with it. I don't know what the swing is, but it's definitely, they're going to definitely make it worth your while to take the plea. Like, man, just go ahead and say you did it. Man, go ahead and do this 60 months, bro. Do your 60 months. You're going to do what? 80%. And then you can get out. Do your 60 months. Why are you going to go over here and risk 25 years to life? That's what they tell you. And you sitting there like, man, I'm innocent. I didn't do it. But I can't prove my whereabouts. I can't prove it. They don't like my witnesses, my homeboys, all my family, my blood are coming here and testify that I was home, but everyone in the house has a criminal record. So they're not going to listen to my family. You know what I mean? Which sucks. It was your one day off from your 3 jobs. And you decided just to stay home. You just slept the entire day away. And someone says that you committed this crime. You got a problem. You got a problem. You know what I mean? Saying legal, and Kobe was like legal warfare. Yeah, man. And most Americans don't care because most Americans don't get caught up. That's what it boils down to. Most Americans don't get caught up. And when they do get caught up, they believe in the fairness of the system. They don't understand that the system it's not fair. You know what I mean? And again, Clint Eastwood, man, like in that movie Unforgiven, like I don't deserve this. Deserves got nothing to do with it. And that's how the legal system works down here. You got to be careful. Now, of course, if you got bread, the more money you have, the more powerful your family is, the better your chances of getting a sweetheart deal, You know what I mean? Or maybe even beating the case altogether, but it's so hard to beat a federal case. So what they'll do is, hey, man, take this time, do the 60 months. We're going to put you in like club fed, minimum security prison. You know, we got you, you're going to be over there with Bernie Madoff and them when he was alive. You know, we got you in here with these white collar criminals. You know, you're playing tennis and, you know, you're doing basket weaving or whatever. And they got those facilities. Or you can go to trial, lose, and we're going to put you in Folsom. Hey, we're going to put you in Pelican Bay. You know, we're going to put you in, you know, one of these terrible prisons somewhere. I mean, it's, bro, you got a serious decision to make. And it's be careful who you rock with. But this is how they do it. Yeah. But they want to reward you for stepping forward and say, yes, I did it. Which is kind of, again, it's crazy because you probably didn't do it. But you don't want to, you know, you still want to live your life, man. You're going to gamble your life away. That's what these Proud Boys did. Barbara McQuaid, a former U.S. attorney in Michigan, is now a law professor at the University of Michigan, said the argument about the trial tax is raised frequently, but typically to no avail. The bargain is a shorter sentence in exchange for the certainty of a conviction and saving the government resources. See, that's what she's talking about right there. It boils down to money and the prosecutor getting a win. To them, it's all a game. They don't care. They don't care if you're innocent or guilty. Your attorney probably doesn't care if you're innocent or guilty unless they're related to you. The prosecutor doesn't care if you're innocent or guilty. It's about what you can prove. And that's just how it works. What the government was offering in exchange for a guilty plea was a benefit, a shortened sentence that they were otherwise exposed to. By rejecting the plea deal, the defendants rejected the opportunity to receive that benefit. After trial, then they faced the sentence, right? Consummate. I can't. Commiserate with their crime. Man, y'all see what happened with my public education, bro. I got to work on my reading skills. I need to get hooked on phonics or something. Commiserate with their crime. You can't have your cake and eat it too. And that's what people don't understand. Like, you got to go out here like, look, this is, if you get found guilty for this, you looking at this. You know what I mean? A lot of these cases, it's mandatory minimum sentences and all that kind of stuff, right? So these judges, like, you know what they're gonna get you. Your attorney will tell you what you're looking at. Bro, you looking at, right? If you lose, you looking at this much time, 22 years, 17 years, 15 years. If you lose, you looking at that. And this is a fair case, so you're doing what, 75 or 80% of that time, day for day. That's what you're looking at. Or you could take this offer. Like I said, 5 years or something like that, 60 months. You could take this, right? Or you could, or you could take this now, or you can fight it, go free, or you looking at that. That is how it works. Federal level, state level, that's how it works. It is what it is. Proud Boy members rejected plea deals with sentences half as long as they would have received after trial. And this is, you know, they rejected it. They got their opportunity. They said, nope, we're going to beat this. I don't know why they were thinking that. I guarantee you their attorney was like, you better take this deal. Guarantee it. Right? So Nordine's appeal came after at least 8 members of the Oath Keepers who members formerly in the armed services or law enforcement wore body armor and surged into the Capitol in military formation or pleaded their cases. So that's another thing too. These Proud Boys are looking at the Oath Keepers who went before them, and they got hit with big numbers. So maybe they thought like, well, if I'm only going to get 7 or 8 years, I'll just take my chances and try to beat this case. But then they get into the case like, nah, man, you're going to be looking at, between 15 and 20 years. The Proud Boys received a 12-page offer for plea agreements with the deadline of October 27th, 2022. The deal proposed sentences far shorter than what the 5 received after trial. So Toronto was sentenced to 22 years, and he could have pled guilty with a recommendation of a 9 to 11 year sentence. Wow, that's double the time. So they had plea, Nordine got 18 years and he could have got 6 to 8. Damn. He could have got 6 to 8, but he got 18. Biz got 17 years. He could have got 6 to 8. Rail got 15 years. He could have got 6 to 7. Wow. And Dominic Pizzola got 17 years. He could have got 4 or 5. There you go, right there. You can take the 60 months, or you can risk 17 years. Take 5 years or risk 17 years. They all said no to their deals. And they all lost their cases, and now they're all crying about it. Brother Mandrill's in the building. What's good, fam? I see you. They crying about it. Yeah, man, Joe, you ain't blow up nothing yesterday, man, last night. That was cool. You came on, you went hard. You went exactly as hard as I expected any Green Beret to go, bro. I thought it was funny. I was like, oh, Mandrell is here. So to beat the drums, do. Mandrell is here. That was funny, man. And good show today, man. I definitely got to work on my diet. I was trying to work out a deal with a personal trainer. This beautiful young woman. I was gonna, work with her to get the training done and also get some content, but she can't do it right now, so I'm probably gonna have to do it on my own. I know what to do. I was just really wanted to work out with her so I could have got the content. I'm gonna have to come up with another plan. But great show today, bro. And you guys please go out and check out Mandrell. What is it? The Big Think on YouTube. The Big Think, I think, is 211. The Big Think 211, I think is what it is. But go check it out, man. He's doing some really good stuff. It's gonna help you get in shape, get your body and your mind right. So shout out to Brother Mandrell. One more home blast from him. And then the Justice Department appealed the Oath Keeper sentences as too short. Think about that. Like, you got the government coming down hard. And that's what Brother Cody was saying. Like, hey, man, it's trying to, they're trying to, send a message and all that. They are. I mean, that's what law enforcement does. That's what the justice system does. They want to hand down harsh sentences because they think that's going to deter other people from doing it. In this case, it might. For the people who are out there doing this sort of stuff, joining these groups and going out here doing this, I'm paramilitary and all that, especially like these Oath Keepers. Like, yeah, we were in the military. Like, you talk to these people like, man, what branch were you in? What did you do? And most of them are like clerical specialists, or they were light wheel mechanics, or they were, emergency room technicians or whatever. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's great. Those, great careers. I'm glad you served, but come on now. You come out of the military, you come home, and now you want to be who and put on gear and wear all that kind of stuff, man. No. No. You know what I mean? But the majority of the time I spent in the military, man, I was always geared up and in the field. Geared up in the field doing stuff. How we get to the field? We jumped in. Yeah, I'm in pain now, which is great. I love my pain. I'm happy that I got to do what I did. But those Oath Keeper people, man, I don't know about you, homie. I don't know. I don't know about you. You know what I mean? And Brother Mandrell saying the big picture 211. All right, cool. Got it. You know what I mean? Make sure y'all do it. He's like, I'm an online trainer if you're interested, deal. I know I like to, me, I like to be able to punch the people. I like the people being there working out with me in the gym, right there with me. My last trainer, man, she was hard on me, man. She's a little drill sergeant. I was gonna get her a little black hat. She stayed on me, bro. Oh my goodness, she stayed on me. But yeah, I appreciate that though, bro. I appreciate that. I'll definitely be checking in with you from time to time when I have some questions on my diet and stuff like that. There's some things I want to focus on. So I'll definitely be hitting you up from time to time. Appreciate that, man. So the Justice Department is appealing the Oath Keeper sentences ranging up to 18 years as too short. So there you go right there. Too short. Man, I'm telling you, I bet you this did damage to their membership. I know people are like, forget that. Among Oath Keeper members, at least Kenneth Harrelson, Jessica Watkins, Roberto Minuta, David Marshall, and Stuart Rose, Kelly Megan, Joseph Hackett, and Edward Vallejo have each appealed. Damn. So all of them got they got these charges. They got found guilty. They got these sentences, and they're all appealing, of course, because you're going to appeal. That's all you got to do. Now you got all this time. When you run out of money, you start doing your appeals yourself from inside the jail. But the Justice Department is trying to get them even more time. I wonder how that's going to work. So, but the Justice Department has appealed sentences as too short. Harrelson got 4 years. Watkins got 8.5 years. Right, man. So they got some good deals. Manuza got 4.5 years. Marshall got 3 years. Rose got 18 years. Ooh. Mayes got 12 years. Hackett got 3.5 years. Vallejo got 3 years. You know what? The Proud Boys probably looked at that and was like, well, they didn't get hit with these. You know, yeah, one person got 12 years, one person got 18 years. They may, well, we'll take our chances. 15 years, 17 years, 22 years. They should have taken a deal. Legal experts say it's common for defendants to appeal their sentences in almost every case, but prosecutors rarely appeal sentences because judges have great leeway to fashion sentences after the 2005 Supreme Court decision called Booker v. U.S., which made sentencing guidelines advisory rather than mandatory. Yeah, mandatory sentencing was bad. There was so many people getting locked up on some BS under mandatory. Where the judge was like, I don't even want to give you this time. Like, judges like, I don't want to give you this time, but I have to. So that's kind of cool. In 2005, the Supreme Court decision came down to give the judges the leeway. But then it's like, well, who are the judges? You know what I mean? Unless the sentence is wildly outside the guideline range and the court fails to articulate its records, its reasons for calculating the sentences as they did, sentences are typically affirmed on appeal. Right. So the judges have to say why he did it, why she did it. And it's pretty much going to be, that's what it is. You know, that's, you know, and it's, so, hey, Proud Boys, Oath Keepers, whoever else is out there, right? If you out there thinking about doing some stuff, make sure it's, you know, legal. Make sure you ain't doing something illegal. And if you are doing something illegal, this is what you can expect. This is what you can expect. You know what I mean? People are like, well, what should I do if I'm going to do something illegal? I'm like, first, don't do it. Don't ask me about it because I can hear you. I ain't listening. But, you know, there's plenty of movies out there to tell you what to do. Right? Plenty of movies. So, man, it's crazy. So what really made me want to talk about this is there was a reaction to the sentencing on Valuetainment, right? So Patrick Bet-David's podcast. Shout out to Patrick Bet-David, Saucecast, you know, Adam Sosnick, Vinny Oshana, you know what I mean? Shout out to the whole team. So they were talking about this, you know, a few days back, and I saw the video and I was just kind of watching and kind of shaking my head. So I definitely want to watch this video and let you know what I mean, and kind of give my 2 cents on this. We got Dusto in the building. What's good, fam? Yeah, Dusto, man. I'm not going down to Sarasota to the thing this weekend. I just can't make it. I got some stuff going on. So yeah, just want to let you know, just in case you might you might head down there. I won't be there. But I got some people who were hoping I would show up. So now I got to actually send some messages out to let folks know I'm not coming. So I'm not going to be there, bro. And you know, Brother Cody's like, am I lifting? I'm about to be, bro. I sat down for a while, but I'm getting way too small, man. Like all my muscle mass is gone. So yeah, I'm definitely gonna get back into the gym. It's just right around the corner. I'm gonna get back in. I'm gonna do I'm not gonna go crazy when I get into it. I'm not gonna go crazy with lifting. I'm just gonna get back into it, man, slowly. I'll definitely be working on upper body, lower body, like really just full body workouts, doing cardio. I'll probably do more cardio than I used to do. And working on my abs and stuff like that, man. But I'm definitely going to start with just full body, man, like everybody else, man. I definitely need to work on my chest. I need to work on my shoulders, biceps, triceps, lats. I'm going to really focus there. You know, definitely got to work on my, you know, my legs. You know, I've always cheated. Like, I'm one of those dudes with skinny legs. You know what I mean? And Dusto, like, hey, he's still without his vehicle, man. What happened to your vehicle, bro? Hope you didn't get into a car crash because, you know, down here, these people don't be these people don't know how to drive, bro. So oh man, I wonder what happened. What happened to your vehicle, bro? Share if you want to, or hit me up and tell me later. But yeah, let's pull this up, man. I got a lot of respect for Patrick Bet-David, his whole team, man. I've actually met the brother, real cool dude. You know, got a pretty good conversation in. I ain't gonna lie to you, I got a lot of respect for him. You talk about a guy who built himself up from nothing. And when it comes to these sort of things, and next time I bump into PBD, I'm definitely going to ask him about this. He came up in LA and I guarantee you he was close to the streets because they didn't have a lot of money. So I understand what he was tempted with coming up. I understand what he was tempted with. And he obviously made the right decisions and or just didn't get caught, right? So, doing this clip, he's pretty much quiet. Excuse me. He's pretty much quiet doing this whole clip. But I can tell, I have a feeling that if Pat and I would sit down and talk about our experiences coming up, that they would be very, very similar. So this is going to be pretty cool to check this out. And the scam was like, transmission rebuild. Oh, man. Y'all wilding. Y'all wilding. Transmission, man, that's terrible right there, bro. Too late now, but I would have told you, man, get, there's tons of aftermarket warranties out there that cover that sort of thing. We'll talk offline, man. I'll tell you about it. So, yeah, anyone who has used cars and stuff like that is this past their manufacturer bumper to bumper warranty. I always tell folks like, man, go out there. It might cost you $3,500. You know what I mean? Maybe sometimes a little more depending on what kind of coverage you want, but it covers transmissions. It covers engines. It covers radiators. It covers all sorts of stuff. And the way it works, you buy the policy and you just have to pay the copay. So you might have to just pay the copay of, I don't know, $200, and then they'll have you pay for the connectors to stuff. So you got to buy like the little tubes and wires or whatever. But the majority of the bill, like if it's $5,000 to rebuild your transmission, to drop a new transmission in, you would just pay the $200, whatever your deductible is. You just pay that plus maybe a couple extra $100 for like the connecting stuff or whatever. But and in some policies, you just pay the copay. You just pay your $200, your $500 copay, and that's it. And you can take it anywhere to get it serviced, or get the work done. So I had a BMW at the time. Radiator went out, took it to BMW, and they replaced it, and it cost me like $200. So and I'm not naming any one company that does this. Plenty of companies that do this sort of thing. So yeah, that's something to think about. If anybody else used car, you're outside of your warranty. You might want to go shopping for this sort of protection, depending on how long you want to keep the car. So that's that. And if anyone out there who sells this product, hey, hit me up. Hit me up. I wouldn't mind if you taking a look at your company and if you guys are doing good work. I absolutely wouldn't mind advertising on the platform. So because you don't need that. I encourage people to buy used cars, first of all, and secondly, get you a warranty. But yeah, let's get back to this. So this clip is about 8 minutes. They had their guest on. I forget who their guest is, but I think he's a comedian. I don't recognize him. But they were talking about what's going on with the Proud Boys January 6th and the sentencing behind all this. So let's check this out.
Proud Boys, yeah, we got Proud Boys. Enrique Tario, former Proud Boys leader, sent 20 years in prison. Oh, sorry. Huh. Oh, Wall Street Journal story. Let's go through this here. That's a former Proud Boys leader Enrique is on 22-year sentence in over 1,000 cases related to January 2021 capital assault after being convicted of seditious conspiracy, a charge related to efforts to use force to overthrow the government, impede its law, or seize its property. Prosecutors initially sought a 33-year sentence for Tario, but cited his leadership role and the Proud Boys' involvement in the attack when recommending to punishment. While the U.S. District Court Judge Timothy Kelly expressed discomfort likening the events to terrorism, Tario, who did not enter the Capitol himself, apologized for his role in instigating the events, while his defense team argued for a 15-year sentence, saying, "My client is no terrorist. My client is misguided patriot." Wait, he never went in. That's getting 20.
That's the key. He never even went inside there. So it's getting further and further from the supposed insurrectionists, the rioters, the terrorists. He wasn't in there. He's not a white supremacist. Joe Biden's quick to call Proud Boys a white supremacy group. His name is Enrique Tario. He's an Afro-Hispanic gentleman, and he's going to lose his whole 40s. He's going to be in prison from 39 to 51 if he gets out early.
What do you think the sentence should be?
Well, let's look at this. Does he have a prior record? Has he done anything wrong in the past? Because the whole thing with Biden is we got to give people second, third, and fourth chance. If it's some,
Again, people say all this stuff. The Proud Boys, they're not racist. MAGA people aren't racist. All right, I'm not saying every Proud Boy is a racist, but I bet you there are a bunch of racists that are Proud Boys. Same thing can be said about MAGA. The same thing can be said about that, right? So what are you talking about? And then they go into, well, he didn't even go inside. I know people sitting down doing 25 years to life on drug cases and they never touched this product. They never touched the product. They was never in the same room with the product, ever. Law enforcement is in trial saying it. Yeah, this person was never around the drugs that we're trying to sentence them for. Come on now. You ain't got to be there. You don't have to be there. That's the beauty of the RICO Act, right? Come on now. Stop it. The thing about this clip that we're watching is these men here, the majority of these men, they don't understand how it works. You got some dude who's like, well, the leader of the Proud Boys, he's a Afro-Latino. Man, he probably thinks he white. I know black folks that are more white than white folks that are on this platform right now, on this clip. I know black folks that are more white than they are. And they out there doing whatever. You know what I mean? Look at someone like Vivek Ramaswamy. Look at his action. Does he act like he's a first generation Indian? You know what I mean? From India? No, he does not. He acts like he's just as white as Donald Trump, or, you know what I mean? You name the white guy. Just saying. Do away with all the racial stuff, man. He was arrested. He was charged. He had his day in court. He got sentenced. He was convicted and sentenced. That's how it works. Let's continue.
someone on the left, but if it's someone on the right, give him life. He wasn't even there.
So and 22 years.
That's
you should get 2 years. Should get 5 years. Should get 10 years. Should he walk up for free?
No, not walk.
What should it be?
First of all, I did, because I'm going to be honest. I didn't dive in and find out all, because I mean the guy was at his house. I don't know. He planned and orchestrated. My question is, do you guys remember that group, Pat? You guys might have remembered Antifa during the entire Trump presidency, during the George Floyd riots. These people who were
peaceful protesters,
protesters funded by George Soros, Pat,
Vinny's my guy. I love Vinny. Vinny's good. He's a good dude. He's hilarious. You guys can see him on stage. If Vincent Oshana is in your town doing comedy, make sure you go and check him out. The dude is hilarious, right? But this whole Antifa thing, if the federal government has a case against Antifa or anyone they consider to be a part of said organization, they're going to have a warrant for their arrest. They're going to go pick them up, just like they picked up these Proud Boys and these Oath Keepers, right? They're going to come in there. The prosecutor's going to walk in there with a file this big, drop it on the desk and say, look, you go to court, you're looking at 22 years. But if you go ahead and say, cop to this now, say you're guilty, we'll give you 8 years. That's the deal. If they find Antifa people or whoever, and the feds are on them, and they're stupid enough to be talking and texting and videoing and doing all this stuff, guess what? If they don't take the plea, guess what? They're going to go to the courtroom, to a federal courtroom, and wind up with 15, 17, 22 years. That's what's going to happen. That's what's going to happen. You know what I mean? Brother Cody's like, yeah, Antifa's a weapon for the Democratic Party. They are protected. I don't know about that, man. I've seen weapons out there, and bro, I don't know about that. I was in LA when the riots were going on after George Floyd and whatnot. The people doing the damage were not the rioters. I don't know who they were working for. I don't know what government what entity or what agency they were working with. But bro, they were extremely organized. They had comms. These dudes are all walking around with baseball caps on, backwards, sunglasses on, and beards. You feel me? Like they had on vests underneath their clothes. They were walking around smashing windows and doing whatever. If they were working for the Democratic Party, I've never seen the Democratic Party so organized in my life. I'm being honest with you. And I've been working with the Democrats until I moved here to Florida. I've been working with the Democrats almost my whole adult life. I've worked on so many campaigns. They are not organized like that. These dudes, right, who these people were, they coming in there with their bear spray. They coming in there with CS gas. They coming in there smashing these windows, and then all the crowd went in and started looting. That was organized. I don't know who did it. I don't know what agency. I don't know, but that's just letting you know, bro. Like I saw that. Like that guy right there is not part of this group. Yeah, you know, they had a mission. They were doing their thing. And they were able to disappear like ghosts when law enforcement showed up. So they knew what they were doing. If they were a Democratic Party, okay. You know what I mean? But I've never seen the Democrats get so organized in my life. But let's get back to the video.
Caused absolute mayhem in this country. They caused violence, killed, they did all this shit. And guess what? When they got arrested, guess who bailed them out? Hollywood elites, Kamala Harris. Everybody's like, hey, we got to help these people. Everybody, yeah, and they helped them out.
So however soon they got out, that's how quickly Enrique.
And guess what? On this January 6th, this insurrection, quotation marks, that nobody died.
Nobody brought their guns.
Nobody brought.
If you go through those cases, the government alleged that there were caches of weapons around DC. Again, I didn't read all of the stuff. I just saw some of that stuff there. I'm like, huh? But no guns were brought out. No weapons were seen. People did that. One woman did that. Former Air Force, right? She was inside the building doing her thing, trying to get into the chambers. And she was deleted by law enforcement who was there telling her not to do what she was doing. Hey man, that's what happens, man. That's what happens. That's what happens. She got some. You know what I mean? They got her. So, and then you had people who got really hurt. Law enforcement was trying to do their thing. I don't know why people try to paint this picture that it was some sort of picnic jumping off on January 6th. You know what I mean? It was definitely an attack on the Constitution. It was an attack on everything I swore to protect. If something like that happens in another country, we calling that a coup. We're calling that an insurrection. You know what I mean? It's gonna be blood, right? But Americans, for whatever reason, they don't want to call it what it was. And this is why you got to have a justice system. It's like, all right, we're going to show you what time it is. So they can try to, the next time, these people going to think twice about what they were doing. Now, you know, as far as the Antifa go and as far as the Proud Boys and all that, those people who do that kind of stuff, man, that's nonsense. Go ahead and do it. If you want to do it, when law enforcement catches you, you know what I mean? They going to deal with you. Period. Jay Swans is in the building. He's like, don't call her former Air Force, call her a traitor to the nation. She died a traitor's death. Facts. You know, Jay Swans is always making me, I'll be trying to keep it nice and in the middle. Like, okay, let me not, ruffle feathers. Let me not throw people in the lockers. But then there's Jay Swans waiting in the wings. Oh, we're going to throw him in the locker. But he has a point. You know what I mean? He has a point. And even that woman and these people on January 6th, they're upset about other things. They just went about it the wrong way. They listened to the wrong dude. This is what happens when you follow the wrong people. You know what I mean? This is it. You're a grown up. If y'all do this and this goes down, you're going to have to pay for it. Like, don't do the crime if you can't do the time. That's what it boils down to.
Nobody go to Liberty Safe to get their gun.
Exactly. But here's my thing. I think, Adam, if it really incites the race, the guy, the FBI, those people should be in prison with these guys. And if Trump wins, I genuinely hope that he takes all those guys and pardons them all.
So answer the question then. How long should he go to jail for? This isn't a trick question.
I don't know.
How long should he go to jail for?
What evidence do they have?
3 months probation.
Okay, because let me just. You read the article. It's in front of your face.
Yeah.
They were trying. Number one, I don't really give a shit about this guy. We actually had the opportunity to bring him on the podcast. We said no.
The
this
Proud
was
Boy guy?
2021. Pat's credit. He's like, nah.
Yeah.
We don't go down that far right rabbit hole, Proud Boy thing. But I will say this.
Shout out to Pat. Like I said, man, Pat knows what time it is. He see what these people are up to, and he said no. They didn't want to give him any. He didn't want to give him no oxygen. Shout out to Pat.
Prosecutors sought a 33-year sentence, but what did his defense want? What did his defense ask for?
A bargaining chip.
For how much? How many years?
15 years.
15 years. So his defense attorney said, at the very least, give him 15 years. They settled, they split the difference at 22 years. So I'm just looking at what his defense is basically saying. Basically, his defense is basically saying, you're going to jail, buddy.
Yeah,
and it's going to happen for a while. So this whole thing.
By the way, good point. Okay, that even his defense is saying 15 years, not saying nothing. But also, good point on you. If he's got to go, Epps has got to go.
Epps should.
If they both go in the same cell for 15 years, now you're going to say fair.
Exactly.
But Epps gets off. Why? He's saying get in the Capitol, get in the Capitol, and there's videos. Epps has got to be inmate.
I agree.
Roommates with this guy.
Well,
then we can sit there and say you're being reasonable.
I will say this guy Ray Epps should be charged with something, but what he is not should not be charged with is this seditious conspiracy. But this is my speculation. I haven't read into this all that much, but I know what a seditious conspiracy is. He didn't even go in the Capitol. It's kind of like he was the party promoter. He promoted the party.
Yeah, it's called.
He sent out flyers. He advertised the hell out of it. But he just didn't go to the party.
Adam, that's called inciting a riot. That's called inciting an insurrection. He's telling all these he's pushing the gates and pushing them to go in. He deserves to. If that
I'm not talking about Epps. I'm talking about why Enrique Tarrio is going to jail. He was the big party promoter of the and I'm not even on your I'm on your page.
Yeah.
I don't think it was an insurrection.
I love.
I think it was a rebellion.
Yeah.
I think it was a shit show. I'm not on the insurrection label. I get that.
I am. Like I am. And you notice Pat's pretty much quiet this whole time. Next time I see him, I'm gonna ask him. I'm curious. But he was air assault. Pat was air assault, bro. He was a field soldier. I'm pretty sure he wasn't happy with what these Americans did. They attacked the Constitution, the very Constitution that we swore to protect. And if anyone loves the Constitution, it's going to be the guy who came here from another country, a country like Iran. His family fled from the kind of chaos that these sort of actions bring. You know what I mean? Like, look what America has done for him. I don't want to speak for the man, but I'm definitely going to ask him. And unfortunately, it's going to be off camera, but I'm definitely going to ask him, like, bro, what? I'm going to tell you, this is how I feel about that, bro. What are your thoughts? And I guarantee you, he's going to look at me like, come on, man. What do you think I think, Airborne? What do you think should happen to them people? They attacked the Constitution. Maybe they didn't realize that that's what they were doing, but that's what they did. They attacked the Constitution, man. You know what I mean? It is what it is. Adam's making some good points. Right. Old boy's own defense attorney was like, look, man, 15 years, bro. Let's ask for 15. They trying to get 30. Dude wound up with 22. He could have got what, 10 or 11? He should have took the deal. He should have taken the deal. And his attorney knew, like, man, you're going to lose this case, bro. Think about that. All these people who went under these federal indictments, not one of them beat the case. Right? The feds, bro, the feds, man, that conviction rate, 90-something%, man, like 96, 97% conviction rate. Why would you tempt that? Like, yeah, all right, I'm gonna take that 5. Man, give me them 60 months, bro. I'm gonna take them 60 months, come out shredded. Get your money right. Get your books right. You about to go in there for 5 years. Make sure you get your money right so your people can send you your money. You'll be all right while you in there. You can eat properly and take care of yourself. That doesn't make any, man. Let's continue.
That people are calling
you think Ray Epps?
I don't think these Proud Boys were actually going to take over the government.
I agree.
I actually think a lot of them actually do love America.
Yeah.
That's
Have
the
you
one
guys
thing.
met any of the Proud Boys? Have you ever had an interaction with them? I did a comedy show in North Hollywood, California. Yeah. Guys in a bunch of polo shirts after the show. Hey, you're funny. I go, what's going on with the polos? Like, oh, you don't know? We're the Proud Boys. I go, what do you guys do?
Yeah.
Well, Antifa has been beating up old ladies and Christians walking to the Trump rallies. So we're showing up now and we're kind of giving them the business if they mess with us. I said, that sounds almost noble, like kind of like a counterforce. And they said, you want to join? I said, no, thanks. And by the way, most of these...
We're going to go burn some crosses after this. Come hang out.
I wouldn't be here. I'd be with Tario. But they were all, by the way, black guys. So not even white.
Wait. So
again, man, I mean, you know, people have their experiences and they see what they see. This guy's a comedian. He's like, yeah, these black dudes in polos, like, yeah, we're Proud Boys. Okay. I've never seen that. I've never seen that. But okay. Like these dudes are okay. These black guys are Proud Boys and they asked me if I wanted to join. We're going out there so we can protect old ladies who are going to Trump rallies. Okay. Okay. If you say so. If you say so, I'm willing to open up my mind to that. Because here's the thing. I know people in neighborhoods, right, that are run by gangs. And when you look at the Crips, you ask the Crip what Crip means, man, it's something to do with protecting the neighborhood. It's about protecting their soil, protecting, and it's like it's an acronym. Crip is an acronym, and I forget what it is, but it's like some sort of community, you know, I mean, protection. Some you got to ask a gangbanger, they'll tell you what it is, right? But that's how that started. So they're looking at also the Proud Boys are here to protect old ladies and help them across the street, make sure no Antifa people jump out the building, jump out the bushes and beat up old ladies. All right. Well, the Crips are out there to protect the hood. But these same people, I guarantee you ask this dude about gangs and Crips and all this kind of stuff, the same dudes will be like, well, no, they're bad. Really? But the Proud Boys are good. Well, you know, the Proud Boys, they got black guys in their group. I'm like, there's some white Crips out there. There's some white Bloods out there. Ain't many, but they out there. Right? What are you saying? Doesn't make any sense to me. It doesn't make any sense to me, Jason. I was like, you should have taken a deal. Now you're going to take the D. Ha! Hey, man, it is what it is. Don't do the crime if you can't do the time. We got to be real careful when we look at these sort of things, man. People need to just understand one thing about the American judicial system. It's not perfect. It's nowhere near it. It's messed up, bro. It's messed up. It's messed up. I mean, think about it. You could be accused of selling narcotics, selling powder, right? You could be accused of selling powder. And you're selling the powder form of the C, and the other guy is selling the rock version of the C. The guy selling the rock version gets 3 times more time than you do, 3 or 4 times longer in jail for selling the same product. Right. And then you do, go ahead and do the breakdown. Which community was selling which, you know what I mean? Which version of the same product? It's the same thing. It's the same thing. So yeah, our system is jacked up. But the people I know who were out there doing it, they understood what they were doing. They're like, all right, man, this is what I'm doing. So it almost always comes back to race in some shape or form. And a lot of that has to do with, social economic status and all that, like where you at, money wise. Right. You're always going to have some problems, right? But when I hear this kind of stuff, like, oh, some black dudes who were Proud Boys, man, I've never seen a black Proud Boy. The only Latino Proud Boy I've ever seen is this dude right here is going to do 22 years. I've never seen it. Does that mean they don't exist? No, I'm not saying that. I've never seen it. He was saying he was in California doing stand-up. I was in California doing stand-up. I ain't seen any Proud Boys. I've seen skinheads. I've seen all these I've seen Aryans. I've seen all them. I had conversations with them, everything. Like, it was cool. I wasn't tripping. You know what I mean? It was what it was. But when I hear this, man, it's just kind of like, what are we talking about? Let's continue.
Oh, wait, they're white supremacist black guys? That doesn't make sense,
I meant 4 or 5 black. I know. It didn't make sense.
Rob, what were you about to say something?
To corroborate what Kayvon said, my mom was not on the Capitol, but she was in.
Oh, shit.
She was in Washington, D.C.
Shocker alert, Rob.
Yes. She wasn't on the Capitol. But the Proud Boys were providing security to the older ladies. My mom's in her 70s. They were guiding her.
Bro, did he just tell on his mama? Did he just tell on his mama? My mama was in DC. She wasn't on the Capitol, but she was there. But the Proud Boys were helping her across the street. She was close enough to the Capitol to where the Proud Boys were helping her. Bro, you just told on your mama. On TV. And the feds is listening. Man, they finna come get your mama, bro. Man, you see that kind of family love, man? What's wrong with dude? Man, why did you do that, bro?
You big dummy.
Why are you telling your mama? I remember once my mama almost told on me, though. Real talk. I had a little bit of drama, And I was young. I was still a minor. But I had a little bit of drama, and I had to go get some dude at his house. And I knew when I came up to the crib, he was probably gonna pull a little, you know what I mean, probably try to pull a little shank or something. So I went home and got that Rambo. I had that Johnny Rambo on me. You know what I'm saying? That's when the movie Rambo first came out, man. I had that Johnny Rambo on me. So when I went up to the crib, I went up to his house, you know what I mean, go take care of business. Sure enough, he came to the door. He had on like a karate shirt, karate gi or whatever, and he pulled out this little shank, little steak knife or something. I'm like, oh, you want cut? So I pull out that Johnny Rambo. You know what I mean? Like, let's go, bro. You want cut? Let's cut. He threw his little knife away. Come on, man. You know, whatever. You know what I mean? And then I had already put my hands on him, so I just came back to, you know, to come collect what I had to come collect. But his people called the police. When I heard the police was coming, I shot to the crib. This dude lived right around the corner from me. Shot to the crib, got rid of that Johnny Rambo, got back on the scene. Somebody told my mom what was going on, so she came up there, police standing there, and my mom then got comfortable. The police about to give me back the property a dude stole. You know what I mean? So, you know, we standing there, and then my mother was like, I just don't understand why you had to go get that knife. And I looked at her like, uh-oh, like my mama just told on me. The police grabbed me. They snatched me up. They grabbed me, started chasing, illegal search. They ain't even, you know what I mean? Pulling up my shirt and stuff like that, looking. I'm like, man, I don't know what you talking about, man. I ain't got no knife. I don't know what you talking about, man. You know, like, only knife is here. That knife right there on the porch. It was the knife he threw on the porch. You know what I mean? I like, that's the only knife that's here. And they just let me go, whatever. I looked at my mom like, that's when my mother realized the police are not here to serve and protect us. If I had that Rambo on me, boy, they would have taken me. They would have taken me in, and they probably would have, because I was old enough. They probably would have charged me as an adult. You know what I mean? But I mean, that was simple assault. They didn't even see me assault, dude. So I don't know how that would have went down, but mom told on me, y'all. Mom told on me. I couldn't believe that. You know what I mean? As soon as my mom said that, bro, my eyes lit up, and the only thing that popped in my head was this.
Houston, we have a problem.
That's all that popped into my head. But again, I know the rules. I've always known the rules. If I'm gonna move like that, I gotta be smart. If the police come in, man, you gotta get rid of all your weapons, bro. All of them. You can't have on nothing. I ain't had nothing on me. Pockets were empty. Nothing. I have no ID, nothing. You know what I mean? That's a lesson from the 80s, y'all. That's a lesson from the 80s. But this dude just told on his mama. Let's continue.
Around the city.
It's like
to protect
badass Boy Scouts, and when a little guy jumps out of the bushes with tight black pants and throws an egg, they would just go put him in the hospital.
Yeah, there's groups called the Guardian Angels with red shirts that go back like in the 80s.
Yes.
Yeah.
With all this. And, you know, I look at it this way. I'm not in the courtroom here, but if he gets 22 years, then the three people that organized the Kavanaugh riot and protest, don't they get 2?
Something.
You know, do you remember this? The
Yes.
Justice Kavanaugh riot? They did the same thing, broke through the doors, came inside,
Banging
pushed
on the
cops around.
doors.
And then I'm looking at it and saying, what is the difference here? Why don't those people get 2 years for inciting a riot and breaking through the doors and trying to make this protest? And then these guys get 22 years. Yeah, I just, I'm still troubled by the selective prosecution here.
I will say this, that one of the things you have.
Now, you know, shout out to Tom. Tom's in the building. Shout out to Tom, man. Like he does big thing. Like he's the numbers guy. Tom normally talks about what's going on with the economy and all that good stuff, man. So if you're ever watching PBD's podcast and they're doing that home team episode, Tom is always really breaking down the numbers. So shout out to him. But and it's funny too. I'm sitting here thinking, I'm like, the dude that got the most time of everybody who was convicted is the Latino dude. So the brown dude gets the most time. Hey, oh man, it is what it is. Is the American justice system fair? No. No, it is not. But the Latino dude got the most time, bro. Got the most time. And then old boy was saying, yeah, the Proud Boys are there to protect old women. And if some dude jumps out in some skinny jeans with an egg, they gon' you know, send him to the hospital, whatever. That's what they doing? Because if that's what they doing, how come you never see them when you see, you know what I'm saying? You see dudes out there down there for their soil. You see dudes out there with 18 tattooed on their face. You see dudes out there wearing red from head to toe. And they out there like, what's up, blood? What's up, cuz? How come you never see the Proud Boys around then? Not that I'm advocating for that sort of thing, but I'm just saying. You out there looking for drama from people you know that can't fight. So you out there really doing some bully tactics. You trying to find an excuse to do it. Oh, I'm just out here helping these old ladies and we're going to do whatever. Man, nah, I ain't buying that, bro. Not for a minute. If you're going to be tough, be tough. If y'all going to be a proper gang, be proper gangsters and quit crying. Do your time. If that's what you're doing, do it. You know what I mean? Jay Swan sent me a video years ago. Some MAGA people, I forget where they were, but they decided to drive into the hood. MAGA people with their Trump flags and don't tread on me and American flags and all that. And they decided to drive into the hood. That video was hilarious. Hilarious. Them people turned around so fast because them brothers came out like, what's up, cuz? What's up, blood? What's up, player? I see you. What you now? Y'all getting up out of here. Now I ain't coming in here with this. Y'all better go on somewhere. They turned around and got up out of there. Police was sitting on the scene. They looked at the Trumpers looking at the cops. You gonna do anything? Like, y'all better leave. Y'all better leave. I'm gonna let them take care of that. Not on this soil. So everybody's tough until it's time to be tough. Like I said, I'm not advocating violence, but I'm just letting you know, man. I'm not buying that. We just here to help out the old ladies. I ain't buying that.
To love about America is your ability to protest or even riot.
164 people arrested during the protest for crowding, obstructing, or incommoding. They broke doors. They came in there. They had tell me what the difference is. Tell me what the difference is when these guys broke through the Kavanaugh.
They came rushing.
Tell me what the difference
you know why? Because they're registered Democrat. That's why, and they're fine.
I'm saying, okay, if you get 22 years, why don't these guys?
I don't even remember this, but are you saying that this is comparable to January 6th?
They stopped the hearing of.
No, they came in though.
I want to see what he's talking about. This is comparable to January 6th. This,
in a way,
once it breaks free here, I'm saying
I want to see it.
No, it's not, and that's the point that Adam's making. No one's wearing tactical gear, right? No one's in there with bear spray, pepper spray. Where I didn't see anybody in that video clip tearing out the windows, climbing up the walls, smashing law enforcement behind the doors. I didn't see anybody tearing up the barriers and throwing things at people. Come on, man. Let's just keep it 100, bro. Let's just keep it 100. What they did on January 6th was absolutely wrong. It was illegal. They attacked the Constitution, man. They should be happy that's all they got was 22 years, 17 years, 15 years, 12 years, 8 years, 5 years. They should be happy that's all they got. For real. And they're trying to say that, oh, we're just misguided patriots. No, you're not. If you were a patriot, you were enlisted. And you oath takers, you know what I mean? Well, we enlisted. Like, come on, man. Come on. Why didn't you go 11 Bravo? Why didn't you go combat arms? Why didn't you join the Marine Corps? Y'all coming out the Air Force, coming out the Navy, you know what I mean? With these little cushy jobs, man. Whatever, bro. Whatever, bro. Like, whatever. It is not the same. And the Proud Boys are out there just helping little old ladies cross the street. That's the first time I ever heard that. Jay Swans is like, brother, we're in Proud Boy land, and I'm really up here in PB land, and I've never seen any brothers with them. All I've ever seen is them dudes get real uncomfortable when they catch me watching them. Facts. We down here, man, like over here where I stay at, man. They used to, the Trumpers, the Proud Boys, the Don't Tread on Me people, they used to be out here in mass 3 years ago. You don't see them no more. Why? Because they got locked up. And they are mad at Trump. That's why. I don't know what they mad about, though. If you bout it, you bout it. That story I shared with y'all, and I should have hit the story time button. I did my bad. I forgot to hit the story time, but it just came to me. But that story I shared with y'all, when I was doing what I was doing back then, I was a kid or whatever, but I had to handle business. Somebody took from me. I had to go get it back. And I got it back. But I had to protect I had to be ready for whatever was going to happen. And I was ready. Right. And as soon as that situation was handled and law enforcement was coming, I had to be ready to deal with law enforcement. And I was ready. Right. Which means get rid of your dirt. Get rid of your tool. Don't be standing there, you know what I mean, dirty, sitting there next to the police. Somebody could say something like my mom did accidentally. Right? She didn't know what she was doing. I could have got locked up for that. If I had that Rambo on me, I would have got locked up for that. For real. And if I did get locked up, that would have been on me. I would have sat down and did my little time. I'd have been like, I hope they just charged me as a juvenile. I hope I could keep this sealed. I hope. But it is what it is. I was prepared to handle whatever was going to come my way. So that's how I look at it, man. Don't be crying because you got caught up doing whatever it was you was doing. Ignorance is no defense, bro. You should have known better. You were grown up. You were out here doing what you was doing, following people that you wanted to follow. And at the end of the day, they still gave you an opportunity. Hey, man, here go a deal right here. Just go ahead and cop to this case, and we're going to give you 8 years, 9 years, something like that. No, you want your day in court? All right, fine. Guilty, 22 years. And keep in mind, the Department of Justice wanted to give you over 30 years. So nah, man, don't be crying. Don't be crying. And for those of us who are out here just watching this stuff unfold, man, just try to keep an open mind and just try to keep it 100. The Proud Boys are not Boy Scouts. Come on now. In the Crips, right? That's a criminal organization. Shout out to my brothers out there, man. I see y'all out there. I see y'all cripping. I ain't mad at y'all, but man, they all about the hood. It's on hood for them. They doing what they do. That's not muddy the waters here. Let's keep it 100. That's all I'm saying. Let's keep it 100. It is what it is. There are good guys and there are bad guys, right? And if you a good guy, do what you do. If you a bad guy, do what you do. But don't come crying. If you a good guy and you break the rules, now you a bad guy. That's how it works. Dirty cops, dirty feds. Once you cross the line, you're a bad guy. And you got to take what comes with that. If you don't want to deal with that, don't be a bad guy. That's just it, y'all. But there are bubbles out there where you're not held accountable for nothing. There are bubbles out there when the police are your friends. There are bubbles out there when you know what I mean, the police come to your neighborhood and they sit around and they talk and they play games. They didn't do that in my neighborhood. They do that in this neighborhood now. But where I grew up, nah. The cops saw us as the bad guys, so we were the bad guys. And we saw the cops as cops and we stayed away from them because they were bad guys too. We stayed away from them. They had the law on their side and we did not. So let's just keep it 100. Proud Boys, Oath Keepers, those people who were involved in January 6th, the vast majority of them are getting what they deserve. They're getting what they asked for. And I don't feel bad for them at all. At all. Not even a little bit. It is what it is. Well, that's all I wanted to say. I got it all off my chest. Thanks for rocking out with me. Brother Cody was here. Appreciate you. Cody is king. My brother Jay Swans was in the building. Man, Drill was over here. Dusto. Appreciate y'all jumping in for a hot second, man, and just checking me out. I just had to get that off my chest. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I don't feel bad at all for these Proud Boys or these Oath Keepers or whoever they call themselves. It is what it is, right? I just want to leave y'all with these words, bro. All money ain't good money, and don't do the crime if you can't do the time. I'm D.L. Saint. This is the I Really Want to Know podcast. See ya.
Nothing like I've ever seen. It's just a thing of beauty.
Darn, that's the end.